Have you ever wondered why so many older people wake up at 3 a.m. and can't fall back asleep? You might find yourself lying in bed in complete darkness, staring at the ceiling, wondering what's wrong with your body or mind. In reality, this phenomenon is more widespread than you might think and is not a simple habit or a direct consequence of advancing age. In this video, we will analyze 5 significant reasons why individuals tend to wake up around 3 in the morning as they age. We'll discuss what these early awakenings might mean and how each cause reveals a deeper aspect of your body, your health, and your life path. By the end, you may look at your sleep in a whole new way. But before you continue, please like the video, share it with people who might benefit from it, and write to us in the comments where you follow us. Your support is essential for us. These are not superficial explanations, however. They are rooted in physiological, psychological, and aging processes that most people are unaware of. We will address hormonal changes, sleep patterns, and health issues. We'll even look at the emotional and social influences that may be quietly operating behind the scenes. And we'll do it with an honest, thought-provoking approach that deeply respects the life you've led so far. So if you've ever found yourself waking up around 3 a.m. and wondering why, you're in the right place. Stick around until the end, because what you learn may not only help you sleep better, but it may also help you understand and appreciate more about what your body is going through. Now let's get started. First point, the reduced secretion of melatonin. One of the most obvious reasons why older adults wake up in the middle of the night, often around 3 a.m., is the physiological decrease in melatonin related to aging. Melatonin is the hormone that helps govern our circadian rhythm, the so-called biological clock. This hormone plays an essential role in helping us initiate and maintain sleep. When you were younger, your body likely produced a high and constant amount of it each night, allowing you to enjoy long periods of deep, continuous sleep. However, as you get older, your body gradually produces less of it. This change can significantly impact the quality of your sleep. You may still be able to fall asleep easily at night, especially after a busy day or a relaxing evening. But in the early morning hours, your natural supply of melatonin may be insufficient to keep you in a restful state. You may wake up, not because of a noise or a dream, but because your brain is returning to a waking state without enough melatonin to keep you asleep. It's not something you're doing wrong, nor does it mean your body is failing. It's simply that your body chemistry changes as you age. Plus, your bedroom environment can exacerbate this effect, making waking up even more frustrating. Even small amounts of light from a street lamp, a bright alarm clock, or a hallway can further suppress melatonin. As we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these environmental stimuli. Consider the case of Harold, 72, who recently found himself waking up at 3:15 a.m. most nights. Once he realized that this was a normal part of aging related to melatonin, he stopped feeling guilty and began to correct his habits. Now she darkens her room more, avoids screens an hour before bed, and takes a short walk in the evening. This kind of understanding is revolutionary. It turns frustration into compassion and guides you to make more informed choices about taking care of yourself. Second point, altered sleep cycle and advanced sleep phase. Another major reason is a physiological shift in our biological clock, a phenomenon known as advanced sleep phase. As we age, our circadian rhythms tend to shift earlier, making us feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. You may notice yourself falling asleep while watching a movie or waking up at dawn without an alarm clock. This variation is not a habit, but a phenomenon deeply rooted in biology that can become more pronounced as you age. While in youth the rhythm is aligned to a later time, with age, the sleep window shifts forward. You may fall asleep at 9 p.m. unintentionally, which means that your body has already finished its rest cycle by 3 a.m. This is why you may find yourself wide awake in the middle of the night, feeling like you've had enough rest. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you, but simply that your body is now operating on a different schedule. Imagine a clock that has been moved forward over the years. While not harmful, it can be frustrating if your lifestyle doesn't align. There's also a psychological aspect to this change. A quiet environment can amplify the body's signals that invite you to wind down earlier. If you no longer have a rigid work routine, the absence of external time stimuli such as meetings or commuting can make this internal shift even more pronounced, as the system starts the nightly shutdown process much earlier. Consider Charles, a 68-year-old retiree. Having an early dinner and going to bed at 9 p.m., his body is ready to wake up by 3 a.m. At first, he thought it was insomnia, but then he realized that his sleep was not disturbed, but simply reprogrammed. Charles began changing his nightly routine to stay awake a little longer, with a read or a phone call. These little cues help extend his sleep window just enough to bring his morning wake-up time closer. Third point, physical discomfort and health-related disorders. Another common reason is the body's reaction to physical discomfort or underlying health problems. As we age, we become more likely to have chronic conditions that, while not alarming, can disrupt our sleep. They manifest themselves in subtle ways, such as a sore joint, acid reflux, or a muscle cramp. This is often enough to jolt you out of a state of rest in the middle of the night, when the body's defenses are at their most sensitive. One of the most common physical reasons for older men is the need to urinate. As we age, the bladder loses elasticity and the urge becomes more frequent. At night, in a quiet room, that feeling becomes impossible to ignore. By the time you get up, even just to go to the bathroom, your body may have already transitioned into a state of mild alertness, making it harder to fall back asleep. Then there's the issue of medications, which can have side effects that affect sleep. Take the example of Eleanor, 76. After months of waking up at night, she and her doctor discovered that one of her medications was the cause. By adjusting her medication schedule and lifestyle, she now wakes up less frequently. It's important to remember that these awakenings don't mean your body is shutting down. They're signs that your body is still doing its job, responding, alerting, adapting. These signs can guide you toward better care and more informed choices. Fourth point, lifestyle habits that alter the sleep cycle. One important but often overlooked reason is rooted in daily habits. Small routines and choices that, over time, silently reshape your internal rhythm, like eating dinner earlier or exercising less. These seemingly small adjustments add up and can tell your body that the night should start earlier, which inevitably also brings your waking time earlier, especially after retirement. As daily life becomes quieter, your body no longer receives the same external cues it once did, like going to work or running errands. Without these cues, your sleep-wake cycle may begin to shift forward. Meal timing also has a connection to sleep quality. Eating dinner early can cause blood sugar to drop overnight, while caffeine consumed in the afternoon can stay in your system longer, making you sleep less likely. For Walter, a 74-year-old retiree, these changes happened gradually. His routine had moved hours earlier, leading him to wake up at 3 a.m. As he reflected on his habits, he began making small changes. By adding an afternoon walk and avoiding naps after dinner, she helped push her sleep window back, allowing her body to settle into a more aligned rhythm. It's surprising how much we underestimate the power of routine. Fifth point, emotional and psychological disquiet. Sometimes, waking up at 3 a.m. is less about the body and more about the mind. As we age, emotional layers once submerged in the daily grind can emerge in the quiet of the night when distractions are scarce. You may find yourself awake not because of noise or pain, but because your mind is reworking memories, unresolved thoughts, or subtle anxieties. It is a calm and thoughtful restlessness, different from the overt anxiety that can affect younger people. It is also important to recognize that loneliness can play a role. For many older adults, social circles are shrinking. There is activity during the day, but at night there is silence and, with it, the possible awareness of an emotional void. Take the case of Gloria, 80 years old, a widow. She is busy during the day, but around 3 in the morning, she finds herself thinking. Over time, she has understood that the awakening was not about sleep. It was her heart asking to be heard. To support herself, Gloria has started keeping a journal by her bed. When she wakes up, she jots down her thoughts. This small act of reflection, combined with a quiet evening ritual, has given her emotions a gentle outlet, calming her mind. The truth is that the human heart does not follow a timetable. Sometimes it does all this at 3 in the morning, but that is not an imperfection, it is a sign of depth. If you are feeling thoughtful, you may carry with you a wisdom waiting to be recognized. Instead of viewing these awakenings as a problem to be solved, try approaching them with curiosity and kindness. Sometimes the most meaningful rest comes not from ignoring these moments, but from honoring them. As we wrap up, take a moment to reflect on what you heard. Each of these 5 reasons offers a different lens for understanding morning awakenings. None of them mean you are wrong or broken. On the contrary, each reveals how deeply your body and mind are still working, still responding and adapting. There is a quiet power in understanding what your body is trying to tell you. Instead of seeing 3 a.m. wake-ups as a nuisance, you might start seeing them as messages, gentle signals to listen more carefully to your needs, your habits, and your heart. You are not alone in this experience. With understanding comes the strength to make small but meaningful changes. If you recognize yourself in any of these reasons today, know that you are not just growing older, you are evolving. And with that evolution comes the opportunity to take care of yourself more gently.